Okay, this is for Algebra 2, Lesson 14. It's the wonderful world of word problems. Little tongue twister going on there. Let's try to do some of these together. Here's what I really want to be able to see. I want to see way more than an answer. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. A lot of these are really basic, but I want to see an equation and I want to see work. Okay, your answer is going to be like worth 1 point out of 4 points. So let's read this one together real quick. The original price of the book was $45. Sarah bought it on sale for $33.75. So cool. So what percent of the original price did she save? Okay, well the first thing you might ask yourself, and I tell people, you know, kind of look again at the very last sentence. It's usually your question. We're looking for a percent of the original price that she saved. So I might ask you, well, how much did she save? So use your calculator, you know, or use your brain, whatever, but show, oh gosh, I'm trying to open my pen, show me what you did. So for example, if I want to know what she saved, I'm going to have to take the original price, which was $45. Here's what she actually paid, okay? So you can see by doing a little simple math, and I had done this earlier, that she saved $11.75. Okay, so I might tell myself this is what she saved. Okay, that would be cool. Notice it says what percent of the original price did she save. Now there's two ways to write this. I want to see some kind of an equation. Let's say I want to let the letter P stand for percent because that's what I'm looking for. Does everybody realize this of is the key word for multiplication? So it wants to know the percent times the original price. So I would do this, percent times the original price, which by the way, you could write that 45p. I'm just trying to write it just like I see it. Percent, that's that p, I don't know what it is, times original price. Did she save? Well, here's what she saved. So this would be an equation, okay? If I want to get p by itself, notice I'm going to have to divide both sides by 45. So if I divide both sides by 45, I'm going to end up getting P equals, hit this in your calculator. This is the time to use calculator. You're going to get this. That's not a percent, that's a decimal. So your final answer is going to be 25%. Remember, you always take that decimal and move it over 2 places. If all you write for your equation is the percent equals, and you just want this for your equation, that's fine. I kind of like this because a lot of people get these switched, which one to put on the top or whatever. And if you will take your what they give you, there's no way you can ever go wrong. Okay, so there's one example real quick. All right, so again, I want to see some work on these. I don't want just this. All right, this is a big gist of your points when you take a test and when I'm going to be looking at your homework. Okay. The wholesale price of a shirt is $15 and the retail price is $25. So this is pretty simple. You know, you can see that they actually marked it up, duh, because it wants to know what percent of the wholesale price is the markup or the profit. Now, this one is really, really simple, but I want you to get in the habit of showing your work. So what I would do is I want to know the markup. Show. This takes seconds, okay? Here was what they sold it to me. Gosh, I can't find my work. Okay, here was the wholesale price. So this is my markup or my profit. I am making some notes you really are making them for yourself. Your problems in the future are going to get involved enough that you're going to have to get in the habit of kind of telling yourself what you just found. So we're trying to get in that habit now. Okay, now let's try to write an equation. What percent of the wholesale price? So let's use the letter P again for percent. Percent of times wholesale price. Remember the wholesale price is 15. So we're going to have 15P is the markup. Is means equals. And here was your markup. There's an equation. I like the equation a lot. Okay? When you get ready to solve for P, just divide both sides by 15. Whatever's in with the letter, we know that. When you hit this in your calculator, you're going to get something like this. You know, just that repeating 6. There's 2 things you can do. Hopefully you remember that a repeating 6 is the fraction 2/3. If not, well, maybe you will now. The exact answer would be 66 2/3. Because if you move this over 2 places, you get a 66 and a repeating 6. Or, I really don't know how the answer key leaves it, I would take 67%. This is not the exact answer. It's just rounded up. This is more precise, okay? So obviously, if you know me well enough yet, I like exactly. All right, let's look again. Just a second. How about, let's do number 4. We're going to do several of these. Trying to see. You know what? Let's go ahead and do number 5. Number 5 is a little bit more interesting. If you get stuck, then just let me know. Ooh, I see the word round. Okay, the used car sold for $2,500. The dealer made a profit of 15% of the original cost. What was the original cost? Okay, we are looking for the original cost. Okay, so you could either use like C to let it stand for the original cost. I wouldn't use the letter O for original just because the letter O is going to look like 0. Okay, if you're going to use the letter O, then make it a cursive O or something like that. Okay, but pick a letter, a variable, and let it stand for whatever it is you're looking for. Okay, so let's see here. You can see I've worked this out for 4. Here is the original cost, and there's a markup of 15% of the original cost. So if it's 15% of means times the original cost. So here's what it originally cost me. Then they're going to add on the markup, and this is how you find the markup. It was 15%, remember change it to a decimal, 15% of times the original cost. And when they did that, this sold for $2,500. Okay, so this would be a good equation right here. Now, this is going to freak some of you out. Realize this is like a 1, okay, plus 0.15. So what you've got here is this, $2,500. When you divide both sides by 1.15, and again, just use your calculator. I'm not doing arithmetic here. We're doing algebra. Hit this in your calculator. I'm not sure what I get there. Crunch it in, crunch it in. I think, let me hit it in my calculator real quick. See, I like calculators too. You can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to get this 2173.91, something like that. But it said round it to the nearest dollar. So this is 91 cents. The nearest dollar would be about $2,174. Okay, so there would be that one. Okay. All right, let's try one more like this. Again, what do I want? I want to see some work. Let's try number 6. In March, winter coats were advertised for 55% off the marked price. Okay. What would Naomi pay for a coat that was marked $195? So here's your original cost. She's going to get off more than half, okay, 55% off the marked price. We know the marked price. We want to know what she ended up paying, okay? So you could do it several ways. Here's what the original price was, okay? She is going to subtract. She got 55% off, okay, of the original price. So this would be one way to do it. When you want to find percent of something, you just multiply it together. Okay, so use your little calculator. When you hit this in your calculator, show me what you get. You should get $175.25. Do the simple math, and you're going to get this. This is what she ended up paying. Okay, $87.75. Now, there is one other way you could do it. Again, this one I showed you some simple work. Here, think about this. If she saved 55%, that means she paid 45%, okay? So you could have done this. Either way, hit that in your calculator. We better get the same answer. Let me use my little calculator. And look what you get. $87.75. Either way, okay? Notice if she saved 55%, so I had to take that away from the original price, or if she saved 55 cents, she paid 45% of the original price. So what's important? I just want to see what you did. I don't want just an answer, okay? All right. I'm going to do one more here, and then the ones that have to do with a little bit of the chemistry, I will do that on a separate video. But these have to do with taxes, number 7 and 8. So, love taxes, Okay, the state sales tax is 6%. I'm looking at number 7 right here. Grace paid a total of $32.45 at the checkout. What was the amount of the purchase before taxes? Okay, so I want to know the amount of the purchases before taxes. So how about if I used the letter B to stand for the price before taxes? Okay, so I'm looking for something. I want to know what she paid, or what was the, I should say, what was the cost before the taxes were added on. Okay, so there's several ways to think this. Here's what it cost when she walked up to the register, and guess what they did? They added on tax. Tax was 6%. Make sure you know how to write 6% as a decimal. And what they do is they take 6% of whatever it added up to be, and that's going to be the total price. And her total cost was $32.45. Again, realize that's a 1B plus 0.06B, so you've got this. $32.45. Hit this in your calculator, okay, and see what B is going to equal. How do you hit this in your calculator? That's 1.06 times B, so you're going to have to do the opposite. Divide both sides by 1.06. Hit that in your calculator real quick, and you should get something reasonable, $30.61. Okay, and there you go. So try those. Watch on the website for your actual assignment.